Welcome to Longevity Cast. If you're passionate about living a longer, healthier life, you're in the right place. We bring you the latest science, expert insights, and practical tips to help you thrive at any age.
Before we dive in, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end. You won't want to miss a single detail that could add years to your life. All right, so you know those pesky muscle cramps everyone hates? Especially as we get older.
I've heard about it.
Well, we're going on a deep dive today into some surprising dietary tips that can actually help. Ready to find out how some everyday foods can be like secret weapons against those muscle cramps.
Oh, I am ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So, eggs for muscle cramps. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised by this one.
Yeah.
I always thought of eggs as like a breakfast thing, not a cramp-fighting superhero.
Right. But the thing is, as we get older, we start to naturally lose some muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia. And, well, this makes us, more prone to those sudden painful cramps. And that's where eggs come in.
Okay.
They're packed with protein, like about 6 grams per large egg.
Wow.
And it's complete protein, meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids.
Oh, wow.
Those are the things our muscles really need to stay strong and healthy as we age.
Makes sense. So it's like little protein packs to fight that age-related muscle loss.
Exactly.
The video also mentioned vitamin D. And I know that's important for calcium absorption, which is crucial for muscle function.
You got it. Egg yolks, they're a natural source of vitamin D, which is especially important for, anyone who might not get as much sunlight.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially as we get older, spending less time outdoors.
Yeah.
So those eggs can be a good little boost.
Yeah. But it's a good idea to still get vitamin D from other sources too, just to be sure.
Like what kind of things?
Fortified dairy, fatty fish, those are good options.
Yeah, makes sense.
And of course, gotta love a little sunshine, right? Whenever you can get it.
Always good idea. Now, here's a connection I found really interesting. B12 deficiency in muscle cramps.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea they were even linked.
Yeah, it's often overlooked.
Okay.
Vitamin B12, that's key for healthy nerves. And they play, a big role in how our muscles work. And when your B12 levels are low, you might get those annoying muscle twitches, spasms, even that pins and needles feeling.
Oh, yeah. Not fun.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So where do eggs fit into this B12 picture, especially for us older folks?
Right. Well, for a couple of reasons, actually. Seniors are more prone to B12 deficiency.
Okay.
So as we age, our stomachs, they produce less of the acid that's needed to absorb B12 from food.
Ah, I see.
And then on top of that, some common medications can also interfere with B12 absorption.
Interesting.
But the good news is eggs, they're a great source of B12, and they're easy on our digestive systems.
So even as we get older?
Even as we get older, exactly.
Okay, that's great to know. Now, I know some people might be thinking, wait a minute, all those eggs, what about cholesterol? What's the latest on that?
Yeah, that's a common concern for sure. But the good news is for most healthy adults, moderate egg consumption is perfectly fine.
How much are we talking?
Around 6 to 7 eggs a week.
That's not going to have a huge impact on cholesterol levels for most people. In fact, if you swap out processed meats for eggs, that can actually be a heart-healthy swap.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about those healthy choices.
Makes sense. But of course, anyone with existing heart conditions or high cholesterol should always talk to their doctor first, right?
Absolutely. Always best to check in with your doctor and see what's right for you.
Definitely. So it sounds like for most of us, eggs are a win-win, good for our muscles and our hearts.
Exactly. And hey, to maximize those benefits, think about timing too.
Okay.
Like having eggs in your evening meal or at breakfast. It could help replenish those nutrients and support that overnight muscle recovery. That's often when those pesky nocturnal leg cramps decide to show up.
Right. Okay, so we're putting eggs on the menu. What about bananas? They're famous for potassium, which is supposed to be good for cramps.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's more to it than just that.
Oh, there's definitely more to the story.
Okay, tell me more.
So potassium is like a VIP for our muscles.
Yeah.
Helps regulate those contractions, nerve signals, even fluid balance.
Wow.
And when potassium levels get too low, it's called hypokalemia.
Okay.
And, well, that's when our muscles become way more susceptible to those cramps.
Interesting.
And one medium banana, the kind you probably have in your fruit bowl, that gives you about 420 milligrams of potassium.
Wow.
That's about 12% of what we need each day.
That is a pretty impressive potassium punch.
Right.
I was also reading up on how much magnesium is in bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like around 32 milligrams per serving. I always knew magnesium was good for muscle relaxation.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize bananas were such a good source.
Well, they are. It's like a dynamic duo for muscle health, you
Wow.
know? Magnesium works with potassium to keep those muscles relaxed and prevent those painful spasms.
I see. So they're working together.
They are. And you know those dreaded nighttime leg cramps we talked
Oh,
about?
I-
Often they're linked to electrolyte imbalances and dehydration. And bananas can help with both.
They're like a natural electrolyte replenisher.
Pretty much. Plus, they've got those natural sugars and water, you know?
Yeah.
Good for hydration. And of course, they help balance those sodium levels too, which is important for how our muscles contract and relax.
Oh, wow. They really do cover all the bases. And the video also mentioned vitamin B6.
Right.
What's its role in muscle health?
Another unsung hero. Vitamin B6 is key for healthy nerves and muscle recovery.
Okay.
There was this study back in 2018. It found a direct link between low B6 intake and more leg cramps in older adults.
Interesting. I'm starting to see a pattern here. All these essential vitamins and minerals, they're all working together to keep our muscles happy.
Exactly. It's all about getting that synergy of nutrients.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we've covered eggs and bananas. What about nuts? I feel like those are a perfect little snack to prevent muscle cramps.
You got it. Nuts are often overlooked, but they are nutritional powerhouses for your muscles.
Yeah. What's in them?
Oh, we're talking magnesium, potassium, protein, healthy fats.
Wow.
Everything your muscles could possibly want, all in a tiny package.
So they're like a one-stop shop for muscle support.
Exactly. And the thing is, so many people, especially as they get older, don't get enough magnesium.
Right.
It's key for preventing muscle cramps, and nuts and seeds. They're a fantastic natural source. Let me throw some numbers at you.
Okay.
1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, a whopping 168 milligrams of magnesium. That's about 40% of your daily needs.
Wow.
Then you've got almonds, about 77 milligrams per ounce, and even cashews, they have 74 milligrams.
Wow, that's impressive. So just a handful of nuts could really help boost those magnesium levels, keep those muscles relaxed and happy.
Absolutely. And don't forget about potassium.
Right, right. Bananas aren't the only ones with potassium.
Not at all. Pistachios have about 290 milligrams per ounce. Almonds have 200, cashews 160. And remember, we lose electrolytes like magnesium and potassium through sweat, so it's crucial to replenish them, especially after any physical activity.
That makes sense. We lose those minerals, muscles can't function properly.
Exactly. It throws off that delicate balance. And the great thing about nuts and seeds is they're not just about electrolytes. They've got those healthy fats, which can help reduce inflammation in the muscles, and protein, which is essential for muscle repair.
So if you're prone to cramps after exercise, maybe grab a handful of nuts or sprinkle some seeds on your post-workout meal.
Exactly. It helps replenish those lost minerals and support recovery.
So nuts and seeds are like these little muscle support packages.
I like that, yeah.
You've got your magnesium, potassium, healthy fats to fight inflammation, protein for repair. Plus, they're super convenient. You can take them anywhere.
Absolutely. And speaking of those healthy fats, they're good for more than just reducing inflammation.
Oh, really? Like what?
They play a big role in supporting good blood flow.
Okay.
That means your muscles are getting enough oxygen and nutrients to work properly.
I see. So it's all connected.
It is. Omega-3 fatty acids, like the ones found in walnuts and flax seeds, they're particularly good for reducing inflammation in the muscles. And monounsaturated fats, you find a lot of those in almonds and cashews, they help improve circulation, which can further reduce cramping.
Oh, wow. The benefits just keep stacking up.
They do.
Now, remember the video mentioning that chronic inflammation can damage muscle tissue,
Right.
and it can make us more susceptible to cramping, especially as we get older.
Yeah.
So can nuts and seeds actually help with that too?
Absolutely. They're like little antioxidant powerhouses, full of anti-inflammatory compounds that fight oxidative stress in our muscles.
So not only do they help reduce inflammation, but they also support long-term muscle health, which is key for preventing those cramps.
Exactly.
So if you're dealing with chronic muscle pain or arthritis, adding things like walnuts, flax seeds, almonds to your diet could be a natural way to ease that discomfort.
It definitely can.
And you mentioned a variety of nuts and seeds. What are some of your favorites?
Oh, well, for pure magnesium, pumpkin seeds are the king.
Okay.
Almonds are a great all-rounder, good balance of magnesium and potassium. Pistachios are your potassium superstars.
Okay.
And then cashews, magnesium, and those healthy fats for circulation. And walnuts, don't forget walnuts, packed with those anti-inflammatory omega-3s.
Okay, I'm taking notes.
Get a good mix in there.
But, I mean, nuts can be pretty calorie dense, right?
Yeah.
So how much should we be eating to get all those benefits without going overboard?
You're right. Portion control is key. A small handful a day is a good guideline.
Like how much is that?
About 1 ounce of nuts.
Okay.
Or, 2 tablespoons of seeds. You can even sprinkle seeds like flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, right on top of your meals.
That's a good idea. Little extra boost.
Exactly. Get creative with it. And of course, along with those delicious foods, don't forget the basics: hydration and electrolyte balance.
Right. The video mentioned 6 to 8 glasses of water a day.
Right. Exactly. Staying properly hydrated, that's essential for muscle health and, well, for your whole body, really.
It really is. Okay, so to sum up, nuts and seeds are like little muscle support packages.
I like that analogy.
You get your electrolytes, healthy fats, protein, and they're convenient too.
And they're tasty. Don't forget that part.
True. Can't argue with that.
All right, so we've covered those delicious superstars: eggs, bananas, and nuts. But we also need to talk about those other important tips for muscle health,
Yeah, beyond just the food we eat.
Exactly. Things that can make a big difference, like hydration. We've talked about water, but seriously, it's so important.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough, right?
Right. 6 to 8 glasses a day, that's a great goal. Like giving your muscles that nice, refreshing drink,
It really is amazing how much of a difference something as simple as water can make.
Totally. And while we're talking about basics, how about moving those muscles?
Oh, you mean exercise?
Yeah, exactly. Regular physical activity, that's key for so many things: strength, flexibility, good circulation, all of which can help prevent those cramps.
Makes sense. But I think a lot of people, especially as they get older, might be kind of intimidated by the idea of like strenuous workouts and stuff.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. But honestly, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Even gentle activities can be super beneficial.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Walking, swimming, even yoga, it's all about finding something that you enjoy and that fits into your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick with it.
Right, exactly. Consistency is key. Oh, and another thing that often gets overlooked:
What's that?
stretching. Just a few minutes each day can make a huge difference.
In what way?
Well, it can improve flexibility, reduce muscle tension, and those sudden sharp cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. Stretching can help with that.
I know I should stretch more,
Yeah.
but I'm not always great about actually doing it. Any tips for making it part of, a regular routine?
Well, one thing that can help is, incorporating it into something you already do. Like, for example, do some stretches after you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night.
Okay, yeah.
Or even, during commercial breaks while you're watching TV.
Oh, I like that.
Just find those little pockets of time where you can squeeze it in.
Right. Doesn't have to be a big, elaborate thing.
Exactly. Little things add up over time. But okay, let's say, despite our best efforts, a muscle cramp does hit. What's the best way to deal with it right then and there?
Yeah, what should we do in the moment?
So the first thing is to gently stretch the muscle that's cramping. Like, if it's your calf, try straightening your leg and pointing your toes up.
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. What about massage? Would that help?
Massage can be really good too. Helps relax the muscle, increase blood flow to the area. So gently massage that cramped muscle, and it should help.
And I've also heard heat can be good for muscle cramps. Is that true?
Oh yeah, heat can be very soothing. It can help relax the muscle and increase blood flow to the area.
So you could use a heating pad or even just take a warm bath.
Exactly. So we've got stretching, massage, and heat. Those are all good strategies to try in the moment.
It's like having a little toolkit for dealing with those pesky cramps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what if those cramps keep coming back? Even after we make those dietary changes and start stretching and exercising, what then?
That's a great question, and it brings up a really important point. Sometimes, even with all those good habits, those muscle cramps might be trying to tell us something else is going on.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, it could be our body's way of signaling an underlying medical condition.
Oh, okay. So it's like a clue that we shouldn't ignore.
Right. It could be something simple like dehydration or an electrolyte imbalance, which, we can usually fix with those diet changes and drinking enough water. But sometimes it might be a bit more complex.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, things like medication side effects, circulation problems, or even issues with our nerves.
In those cases, it's probably best to talk to a doctor, right?
Exactly. It's always better to be safe than sorry, If those cramps are sticking around even after you try those home remedies, it's worth getting checked out by a healthcare professional just to rule out anything serious.
That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to just brush off those aches and pains, especially as we get older. But we really do need to listen to our bodies and get help when we need it.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, and the more we know about our health, the better decisions we can make.
Well said.
It's so true. And it's great that we have these simple, natural ways to support our muscles.
Yeah, it is. It's like we don't necessarily have to jump to medications or anything drastic.
Right. Often just making a few tweaks to our diet and lifestyle can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And, we talked about eggs, bananas, nuts, and seeds, but this video also really highlighted the importance of those foundational things like hydration, exercise, and stretching.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Those are like the cornerstones of good muscle health, no matter what age you are.
Exactly. And, if we're really struggling with those persistent muscle cramps, or if anything feels off, it's always best to talk to our doctor, right?
Always a good idea. They can help rule out any underlying issues and give us personalized advice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes those cramps are our body's way of saying, hey, pay attention to me. Something might be up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little check engine light.
I like that analogy. So it's up to us to listen and, get things checked out if we need to.
Exactly. Okay, so to wrap up, we've learned a lot from this deep dive into muscle cramps and how to prevent them.
Yeah, we have. And I think it's really empowering to know that we have some control over this.
Oh, absolutely. We're not just at the mercy of these annoying cramps.
Right. Simple things like getting enough potassium and magnesium, staying hydrated, keeping those muscles moving, it can all add up to a big difference.
It really can.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me today and sharing all this great information.
It was my pleasure. Always happy to talk about muscle health.
And to our listeners, I hope you found this deep dive helpful. Remember, take care of those muscles. They do a lot for us.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.